in a week. I'm like, y'all don't have no way y'all can spray something where
The color?
show me like how instead of playing a guessing game, like, oh, it's probably coming from here, looking at water spots and just guessing, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, when you're looking for an inspection, you'll see like the water state. You'll kind of see where it's traveling, or you'll do a water test. I don't say like a dyed water. Should do that. But we don't necessarily dye water. But if you do a water test, you'll actually see the water dripping, and you'll see like where it's going. Yeah. Good question. Good question. After the felts and then the iso water, put the pipers in, and then you put on your shingles. Well, before the shingles, we put on the starter strip. So a starter strip, it looks like shingles. This is actually shingles. Starter strip looks like shingles, but starter strip. Starter strip. So this one I'm showing you is the actual shingle. But a starter strip looks just like this, but it's just plain, and it has the adhesive. It goes around the perimeter of the roof, so the rakes and eaves, just the perimeter of the roof, and that's the first defense for wind blow off. So you put the star strip there, and then the shingles go on top of that. So then once you put the star strip, then you start laying down the shingles. This is an example of a shingle right here. This is a architectural shingle. So a lot of homes have, there's either 3-tab or architectural. These are architectural shingles. 3 tabs have literally 3 tabs, so that have like a cut, so you can have 1, 2, 3. But this is the architectural shingle. It's supposed to last as far as wind, 120 to 130 miles per hour.
How long can a pack of those last, like, say like you have an inventory or something like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do they
You
last?
store them?
Yeah.
Well, sure, it's supposed to last 30 years, so as long as you store them, they'll be good. They don't expire. Yeah.
And they made out of cat litter, the same thing, substance they use?
Cat litter?
Yeah.
No, they're made out of granules. So yeah, granules is like asphalt, like the ground. So like yeah, so it's like little rocks.
Like sand.
Yeah, but great question. So granules, that's what it's made of. And then the colors is usually 6 to 8. 6 to 8 make a design. Yeah. This right here, this is the ridge vent. So the ridge vent, this is what goes on top of the roof. This is what allows for the airflow. Yep. So that way the hot air rises, the ridge is at the very top. So this will allow for the attic to be cooler and usually lowers people's energy bill. The old school way that a lot of people have right now is they have box vents that's on the back of the roof. But the ridge vents are more efficient. It's more of a 2026 roof. Okay.
I'm just going like, you see when some people's house they have those, and you'll start seeing like a green algae or some kind of natural stuff on. What's that information?
Yeah, so algae grows on roofs. Those are usually like the older roofs, just over time. Algae usually grows on the north slope, so that's where the sun, where you get the less sun. And it's just over time we're going to get older, but it has nothing to do with the Richmond. Yeah, that's just roofs in general. But they have newer roofs now that has algae technology that you don't have that anymore. A lot of the new shingles have that, so that way, again, you stop that very problem. Any questions?
How many miles per hour that architectural shingles can take?
Say it one time.
Miles per hour?
120 to 130. So architectural shingles, 120 to 130. 3-tab shingles is 60 miles per hour. Metal shingles, they usually go from 130 to 200 miles per hour.
question, we're going to cover the differences between a free tab and an architectural shingle. I've got both examples right here. Let's jump right into the free tab. Free tab shingles are an asphalt shingle. It's asphalt, fiberglass, and granules, just like an architectural, but they should not be confused. You can see they have a completely different look. The free tab shingles are called free tab shingles because they are one solid sheet of shingle that's cut out to have these 3 tabs, 1, 2, 3. Now, there's some issues with them being like that. These shingles are only, the warranties are about 20 to 25 years depending on the manufacturers, but they don't do well with high winds at all. So these are only rated to about 60 miles an hour, and you can see wind will just pick up these tabs and start flapping them in the wind like that. Let's move over to the architectural shingles. This is the current style. We rarely ever install these. This is the new-ish style, but this right here is the Atlas Pinnacle Pristine. I'm going to show you right here. It's called a laminated shingle because it's actually 2 sheets that are laminated together. If I peel this tube up right here, you can see there's still shingle underneath. This gives it that 3-dimensional look, that architectural look, but it also makes them hold up to winds a lot better. So these shingles right here, 130 miles an hour. So more than double the wind rating on these. These are also 50-year shingles. So 3 tab is still going to be your baseline budget shingle. This right here, you start getting into high performance shingles. If you have any questions, drop them below. Thanks.
Alright, so I get the difference between 3 tab and architectural? Okay, so for 3 tab, it's usually a 20-year warranty. You said 20 or 30, but it's really 30. But when you have 30, you usually have a higher credential with the shingle manufacturer. With shingle manufacturers, for the most part, they usually only allow you to work with one. They try to kind of pigeonhole you so that you always use their products. So they say using someone else's, they try. On our side, we have a little bit. We work with multiple companies, so that way we give the homeowner what they want, not necessarily just what we have. So a lot of roofers, what you'll see is they'll come in and they'll say, yeah, we're JF Master Elite, so they'll only offer JF products, but that might not be the best product for the homeowner's individual needs, you know. So when you're able to offer more products, different things. So again, with 3 tab, usually 20 to 25 years, to be honest. With the architectural, you said 50 years, but really they start at 30 years. And 50 years is when you have a high credential with the manufacturer. Metal shingles, 50 years. Now, as far as for warranties, a lot of manufacturers now are going with lifetime warranties. So let's say it has a lifetime warranty. Well, what it really means is they have the lifetime that is an asterisk. So what it really means is 15 years, they'll cover 100% of the roof, and then after 15 years, they start prorating it down. So they give you like a certain time frame. Plus, they know with shingles in general, the shingles might not defect, but if a storm happens, a hailstorm or something like that, you're gonna have to replace it anyway. That's not gonna be off the warranty, it's gonna be through your insurance. Get me? Like these right here, they say 50 years. As far as for this metal shingle, for the lifetime. But then it says coastal location, 30 years. And then it says inland location, up to 50 years. Yeah, but then it said lifetime. It's a market. Cool so far? Juice? Alright, cool. Alright, so what we're gonna get into right now is we're gonna get into the tug test. So that way we can see what's the difference between architectural shingles. So no architectural shingle is the same. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do a certainty shingle. That's this one right here. And we're gonna do first a ICO shingle. We'll put that one there. So what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need 2 people. I'm gonna need one person that's gonna be the nailer, that's gonna knock the nails in, and I need one person that's gonna be the sign. You be the nailer? I sound good. Marker, you wanna? We're gonna get you to one. Alright, gotcha. Let's do this, let's do this. So, I'll get the ball rolling.